Can you hear me, Mr. Dunbar?
I can.
I can't hear you. You're mute.
No, I'm not. Because I hear myself.
We can't hear you.
Is there anybody else that can't hear me?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. I can't hear you. We can't hear you.
I hear you, and I'm driving.
You said you hear me?
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to tell Flora that it's just her. It's not me. You got to cut your computer up because everybody else can hear me but you.
I feel like an idiot.
Oh, boy.
I'm glad you made the sign. I'm glad you made the sign going like this.
Turn it up.
My volume was down.
Because I can hear myself because I'm on three different systems, so I can hear myself. And I'm like, I can hear myself, so I'm going to hear me.
I'm like, I can hear you. I can hear you. My volume is way down.
Okay, guys. So yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So let's see. All right. So what I want to do is go back. I'm trying to do some problem solving. I want to go back to find out. Now you can volunteer, but if you don't volunteer, I'm gonna eventually get to you. But so you can volunteer, or I'll just eventually get to you. But I need the people who haven't, not the ones who have, the ones who have not started doing any lead magnets to let me know what's going on, because we need to do some kind of problem solving, because I got to figure out why it is that you have not created any kind of lead magnet. So I saw Flora's hand go up. So Flora, okay, you already unmuted, so you can go ahead and talk.
Yeah. I just haven't tried. I'll be honest.
Okay, so well, why are you not trying? Because, and Jackie, I'll get you next. I see your hand up too. So tell me why you're not trying, because we're on week, like, I don't know, 14 or something. So
Right.
obviously there's a reason why you're not trying. So
I haven't taken the time to do it. That's what it is. I find everything else distracting me. I get involved in different things that for instance, sometimes I can get on Facebook and I'm scrolling, and before you know it, I'm there over an hour. That time I could have been spending doing what I need to do, and I wasn't doing it.
Okay. All right. And that's good. And I'm glad you're being honest, because the only way to figure out how to solve the problem is to admit whatever you feel like the challenge is. So one thing I would tell you about that is, one, just stop going to social media without a timer.
Right.
Don't go to social media without a timer. If you're going there for whatever reason, go there. I mean, whatever reason you go to social media, go there. I'm not saying don't go there at all, but take a timer and time yourself when you're going there so that you can get some of your time back. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to be on social media not doing anything to boost your business,
right,
which is fine to be on social media not doing business. I'm not saying you should be on social media unless you're doing business. All I'm saying is, if you're going to be on there for any significant amount of time and never doing anything to boost your business, but then have another area of your business that you're saying, okay, I'm not doing anything to create leads, you're going to have a big problem. Because as a business owner, you've got to have leads coming from somewhere, right? Either you're buying them, or you're part of 1,000 organizations and you're getting referrals because of that, or your current clients are giving you referrals. Something's got to be going on, because if you do not feed your prospect list with some leads, you're going to eventually just stop selling whatever you sell, right? Whatever you're selling is going to come to a halt. So what I would tell you is you're going to have to put some time on your calendar to do this. So more importantly than putting a timer on your social media thing, because that's just a general time, productivity tip. You have to literally put time on your calendar to start your process of making leads. So you need to go to your calendar and say, okay, on Tuesday from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, I'm gonna start step one into creating my leads. So have you created your company yet?
No, because I work with Legal Shield, so I can't, I think it's already the company I'm in. What
No,
do you mean?
So all of the conversation we've been having about forming a company to be in Legal Shield. So why do you think that we've been having that conversation?
I didn't understand the question. What were you saying?
So all of the conversation about creating a business,
Right.
while you're in Legal Shield to operate your Legal Shield through, like, why do you think we've been having that conversation if it didn't matter that you was already in Legal Shield? Legal Shield is not your business. That's I was gonna say it's Jeff Bell's business, but it's not his either. It's he's the CEO, so it's not what your business either. But you gotta follow what I'm saying. Like, this is whoever owns it now. I don't know. It's changed hands a couple of times, so I don't really know who the owner is at this point. But whoever the owner is, somebody owns it. It's not us. So when you say Legal Shield is already the business, so tell me where the disconnect is for you on the fact that you should be forming your own company. Because it may not just be you. You know what I mean? It might not just be you. It might be other people on here right now that feel the same way.
No, because I've never thought about creating a different business than working my Legal Shield business.
Okay, but your business that you're running is going to be Legal Shield, but it's going to be your business. Like, this is Legal Shield is not your business.
Right. True.
It's just you just got an associate agreement with the company. You basically are contracted to sell their services, which is totally fine. I'm just saying. So when you go to create a lead magnet, what is your lead magnet going to even say on it if you don't have a business? Because you can't make a Legal Shield lead magnet because it's not your company. So like literally, you can't make a lead magnet with Legal Shield on it because we don't have a right to.
Right, correct.
I mean, because it's not our company to create. We can't create Legal Shield material.
Right. True.
Right.
True.
So part of you making a lead magnet is you having your own company name. I suggest you have a logo too, but you don't have to. Like, you really don't have to have a logo. I just suggest people have a logo because it's all part of your mindset of you becoming a business owner and doing all those things in that order. Meaning, part of the mindset of being a business owner is the fact that you own the business. And I've seen it time and time again, even with my own child, my own son, my son that's in the military. He's always been doing stuff, cooking, taking pictures, doing his photography stuff, but he always kind of does it lackadaisical until me and his mom got together and helped him form a company and set up his accountant stuff and all of that, because his mom is a master accountant or whatever the case may be. When we structured my son, he all of a sudden started doing regular business because he didn't have a structure. So he was doing it. He was making money. People was paying him to do stuff, but he just wasn't keeping no records. He wasn't filing no taxes. He wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't really acting like a business owner. He was just, if somebody said, hey, could you make something for me or cater something for me, he would do it and he would take the money and do it, but he wasn't keeping no records. He wasn't running it like an actual business. It was just some extra money whenever he could make it. And now he's truly running it like a business, like literally getting a loan to open up a cafe and everything else now, simply because his mindset changed when he actually had a business in his name and actually had his mother acting as his accountant. That changed his entire mindset on business. So we're getting kind of to the root of the situation. First of all, you can't do lead magnets if you don't have a business. Because if you do lead magnets without a business, you're kind of doing copyright infringement or trademark theft because you're making lead magnets in Legal Shield's name, which they haven't given you the right to do that.
Do that, right?
So you can't do that. You're gonna need to form a company, and really, you're not running your business properly if you don't form a business, because at the end of the day, anything that happens, somebody could just come after you.
Mm.
Does that make sense? Because you don't have any coverage. Like you're not, Legal Shield is not preventing somebody from coming after you, even if you have the small business plan.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of Legal Shield associates that have the small business plan, and they're like, "Oh, I got the small business plan, so I'm good." It's like, no, that's you only all that is representation. That don't make you right. That just make you have a lawyer. So if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, then the lawyer is just going to defend you and say, you know, give Flora as less time as you can. They can't say you didn't do something you didn't do. So at the end of the day, having the small business plan is having access to an attorney is not saying that you're doing things the right way. So the whole point of me saying that to you is you're protecting yourself with the business plan.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, and this is not you. I'm messing with you because it's me and you talking.
Right.
But there's literally people in Legal Shield with the small business plan who don't even own a business. So I'm really asking, like, what are you actually protecting because you don't have a business?
Mm-hmm.
But how do you have a business legal plan if you don't actually have a business?
Right.
You can't really protect a business that you don't have because nobody's going to sue the business because you don't have one.
Right.
They're going to actually sue you. So having a small business plan isn't even going to help you. Does that make sense? That's like having mortgage insurance when you rent a house.
Right.
Right. You can't, it's not going to do you no good, right? Because you can't insure somebody else's property. Not that way. You can get renter's insurance, but you can't have mortgage insurance for somebody else's house when you're renting it from them. So some people are literally paying for a small business plan for their business and they don't even own a business.
Mm.
So really, the law firm can't help them if something was to happen because the person that came after them will be coming after Flora or Catherine or Jackie or Jezreen or Stephanie. They won't be coming after a business name if you don't have one. So the business plan is not even going to help you.
Mm.
You're literally paying for it for nothing. Unless you bought it from yourself to make a commission. That's a whole other conversation. But I mean, as far as protection, you don't have it.
So what are you saying that I should, even with doing the Legal Shield, I should form, let's say, like an LLC or something, but besides
Absolutely.
my name?
And that's what the name and number change is for. That's why you do a Legal Shield name and number change. A name and number change is Legal Shield changes your Legal Shield associate agreement over from Flora Vidal to the name of your business with your EIN number as opposed to your Social Security number. That's why Legal Shield does that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you can't, I mean, I shouldn't say you can't. You should not. And depending on what legal expert you ask,
Right.
it can be considered illegal to be running a business and not own a business. Because if the IRS was to audit you,
Mm-hmm.
they can hit you with commingle. Because any Legal Shield money you make that's going into your personal bank account, you got business money going into a personal bank account. As far as the IRS, as far as tax law is concerned, that's illegal.
Repeat that again. So it's like,
You've got business money going into a personal bank account. That's illegal.
right.
As far as the IRS is concerned.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's illegal. That's as far as the IRS is concerned, it's illegal. So if you got audited, they could actually fine you for that. I'm not even supposed to take my business card and fill up my regular my vehicle to go somewhere personal. They would never catch that, but if they did, they could actually charge me with that.
Right.
But that's commingled because I'm not supposed to use my business money to fill up my personal vehicle to go somewhere personal. If I was taking my granddaughter out to Chuck E. Cheese for her birthday,
Right.
I shouldn't be using my business card to put gas in there because when they use that business card, when they look at the expenses on that card so that I can deduct my expenses, my taxable income,
Right.
I've literally created a fraud situation because the gas I put in my car to go to Chuck E. Cheese was not business.
True.
So I'm deducting an expense of gas out of my business account when the gas wasn't used for business. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So the very first thing you have to do is you have to form a company, a LLC, and I can talk to you about that offline.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we're not going to do that on this
I'd
call.
love us to
Yeah.
talk about this.
Yeah, that will be something we would talk about offline. So, but you need to form a company In the least case scenario, a DBA, doing business as, Flora Vidal doing business as some other name. At least you need to be doing that. Because operating under yourself, you can't create a lead magnet if you don't have a name to create a lead magnet under. So that's going to be your first challenge that you're going to have to get by. Make sense?
Makes sense.
All right. So I'm going to ask you again on another call. At another time.
Okay.
All right, Jackie, I saw your hand up. Is it still, you still, was your hand up on purpose?
What was your question was who hadn't did the lead magnets, correct?
Yeah. If you have not started your lead magnet, in order for me to problem solve, I need to know why you haven't started it so we can talk about what.
Because I have just fallen behind, really. I feel like I needed to go back and listen to the replays of these lead magnet sessions that you had. You've gotten me in place with my business and all of that, and just really kind of go back in place so I could set everything up and then do the lead magnets. So meanwhile, it's like I still ballet leads, and so I've been doing those to try to hold me over until I can get everything set in place. I've just fallen behind, and I hate that because this is the biggest thing I wanted to do was the lead magnets so that I could stop doing the leads. Now I do okay with the leads, but I want to do the lead magnets, but I feel like I don't know enough to really just get started with it. So it's me not went back and listened to the replays. I started off listening to the replays and got caught up on a lot of other stuff, and that's just what I've done. That's why I have not done the lead magnets.
Okay, so what I know that you have the company formed already. I know that you got the logo stuff done, so I know that you have that part done. So I wouldn't encourage looking at the ones I've been doing every week. These weekly ones are not the ones that I would look at if I was you. So I wouldn't try to catch up on those. Not to create the lead magnets. To start doing the lead magnets, I would go back to the training modules. Just those ones, not these weekly ones, because those are going to be more precise on telling you what you should be doing next, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So that's what I would be looking at if I was you, as I would be looking at what to do next, because you've already formed the company, you've already done the EIN number, you've already created the logo. So at this point, your next step in lead magnet would be you making a decision on what kind of lead magnets you want to create, like based on what are you going after? Are you using them to recruit? Are you going to be using them to sell small business plans? Are you going to be using them to do CDLP? You have to first identify what you're going to use lead magnets for, and then decide, are you going to make the lead magnets on Canva, or are you going to have somebody on Fiverr make them?
Oh, well, I'll probably do them to Canva because you kind of introduced me to that. But like I said, so, now that you're telling me to go back to the training modules, that's what I'll be looking at. Now, I think it was last week, I got a lot out of the training that you did with this. So, but, I had to jump out because I have another obligation at 8 o'clock. So we may have went over and I had to jump off. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to the modules. I had started doing the modules too. And then I just got, how I get over different stuff. And this is why I said that I had to put in place even our your coaching session with me personally. To get some things just kind of taped out into the book, taped off my book so that I can kind of get things in place and then land up to get these magnets started, because that's one of my biggest things in my business that I need to be doing.
Gotcha. So one of the other things I would tell you, other than looking at the modules, that's going to be helpful to you, is going to be, and this is in two areas. This is because you haven't done the modules and moved forward on everything. Plus,
Mhm.
like me and you have coaching sessions and you haven't booked with me in a while because, you know, you had went to the conference and all that other kind of stuff. So
Right.
what needs to happen is you really need to like shut everything down.
Okay.
And when I say shut everything down, meaning that you need to stop everything and get your calendar together. Because whatever time you lose shutting everything down, you will gain it back in efficiency with having your stuff in order where you can get through your day the way that you're supposed to. Because I know who you are. I know that you're one of those people that your day will get away from you because you're helping people do stuff that you shouldn't be helping people do. You see what I mean? Like, so somebody's calling you and saying, hey, Jackie, can you hit in this 30 minutes, 40 minutes is gone, and you helping somebody do something, when if you had on your calendar that you were doing something else, you would have not done that because you was doing something that you had in place to do. And it's hard to commit yourself to that stuff when you don't have it on your calendar. That's why we say your calendar is your boss, even though it's electronic and it's really not going to actually vocally tell you what to do. You kind of tie yourself to it when you create it because you commit yourself to it. It's just a psychological thing.
Right.
It really is
I
psychological.
can really appreciate that because that is one of the things that I have been working on better. And I was like really wanting to show you the calendar, my calendar, because I have been putting things in place. Now I have to institute, I have to get in there and do it. Okay, I put those things in there, and then, you know, like you was showing me how I have to taper it down, take this off. Can't be in everything. You can't do this, you can't do that. So that's one of the things I've been doing, working on tapering down my calendar so that I could go ahead and actually do the calendar. Remember, that was one of my biggest problems was doing the things that all these trainings that I learned, I need to start doing them. So, yeah.
Yeah, and for those that are listening that are thinking like, okay, this is not really lead generation. It is lead generation in the sense that you can't. That's like a person, right? And this is going to be an awkward example, but it's true. This is like you taking classes, parenting classes, and you don't know how to make a baby, right? It's like somebody saying, well, you're not teaching parenting. Well, if you don't know how to make a child, then the parenting classes aren't even going to help you because you're never going to be a parent, right? Unless you adopt. So the point of me doing this is because I'm watching people get on and sit on for an hour, but then they're not making lead magnets. So if you're not making lead magnets, I need to find a disconnect somewhere so that we can correct that. And if the disconnect is, normally the disconnect is not going to be, I don't know how to make lead magnets. The disconnect is something else. It's always, most of the time, it is something else. That's why I'm having these conversations, because there's a reason why you're not doing lead magnets, and it's not because you don't know how. It's because you're just not doing it because something is making you self-sabotage from doing it. Something is preventing you from getting up tomorrow morning and saying, okay, let me start making this lead magnet. And this, whatever it is probably not more important than the lead magnet. You're just letting it be because you don't want to take that new challenge. So like with you, Jackie, I know your calendar situation, your busyness is really a big hindrance for you. So one of those most important things is going to be your entire business is going to change. Like everything, the money you make, how you feel at the end of the night, and you're a night owl. All of that stuff is going to change how everything is working for you. When it's like, oh no, when you got your calendar streamlined, and you can do like Harold Branch talked about last Wednesday on the pregame. He talked about doing the day in review and the weekend review. That's really important to make sure that at the end of the day, you look at your calendar and say, did I do everything? And if you didn't, move the stuff that you didn't do to another day so that you can get it done. Right. Because what's going to make you accomplish things and make you feel better is the accomplishment of the things that are important for you to do. And when you just go throughout your day and just let your day kind of get handed to you by everybody else, which is what most of us are doing when we're not operating from calendar, we end up just doing what everybody else needs us to do because they put it in our face because we don't have our own stuff in our face. So everybody else ends up putting their stuff. So that's why you'll hear me say, you'll hear trainers say, most urgencies in your life, they aren't even yours. Because if you're doing your stuff in the order you're supposed to be doing it, an emergency doesn't normally pop up. The emergency is normally somebody else's situation that you're helping them solve. So unless it's a minor child that lives in your house, it's probably not your emergency, if that makes sense. So the 911 ends up being somebody had something happen to them, right? Who probably wasn't doing things the way that they should have in the first place, and now they're calling you to help bail them out of some situation, whether it's medical or work or whatever it is. Most of the time, the sense of urgency is not your stuff, especially if you have a calendar, because your stuff is organized to do it in a certain way. So for those that are on here that's having that problem, guys, I would really encourage y'all to get on that Wednesday night thing we're doing. That's free, guys. You don't have to join it. If you don't want to be in the business summit, don't join it. I mean, don't pay to get in it. That's fine. But the 5 weeks that we're doing, it's going to be some critical stuff being said over those 5 weeks that are going to help you automate and organize your business. And you can take a ride and take those 5 weeks and then jump off before the summit starts. That's totally fine. Nobody's going to chase you down about why you got on that and didn't get on the other one. I know I'm not. So, it just get on it and learn what you need to learn to organize and automate yourself so that you can get up and your day can go on the flow that it's supposed to go, so that you can get the things done that you know are important that you're not getting done, because every time you turn around, it's the end of the day again. And you're like, okay, it's 9 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock, whatever the end of the day is for you. And you haven't done most of the stuff you said you was going to do, but you got on a whole bunch of trainings that you got on, right? And many of us that's guilty of that. You sat through 3 or 4 trainings today, and a week later, you're still not even implementing none of the things that you got trained on last week. You're not implementing them this week. True. And the stuff you get on this week, you're not going to implement that. So now you got 4 hours a day being taken up by trainings, and a week later, none of the 4 hours of training you even implemented for several different reasons you have. Because you're not in a position to, because the things that need to be in place before you do that stuff you haven't done. And why haven't you done that stuff? Because you want another training. Right. So you jumping from one training to the next, but you're not actively doing anything because you keep getting on another training, even if it's not for you. Right. You're getting on another training. So you gotta buckle down and say, okay, this is what's on my calendar, and that training is not on my calendar, and it should be on my calendar, on your calendar. I'm a CDLP trainer, and I take the training four times a year. That's all I take is 4 times a year. There's people that get on that training every month. I mean, I appreciate y'all getting on every month, the ones that do, but you don't need to be on CDLP certification training once a month. That's too much. Why would you take that 12 times a year? You don't need to. That's a 4-hour training. You don't need to take that many times. And I only take it 4 times because as a trainer, I feel like I should somewhat do that. If I wasn't a trainer, I wouldn't be taking it 4 times. I wouldn't. If I was on Sharonda's call on Thursday and I was on a Monday night CDLP call and I was doing CDLP, all of that, why not? Why do I need to be on certification training 4 times a year if I'm actively in the groove doing the thing? I wouldn't need to. So a lot of us, you guys are you're guilt tripping yourself into getting on trainings because you're not doing certain things. And then the problem with that is you're just putting yourself on a carousel because you're guilt tripping yourself because you're not doing stuff by getting on a training and feeling like you accomplished something. But while you're on the training, you're not working. So you continue in that same cycle. So you keep on not doing stuff because you keep being on trainers, and you keep registering for more trainers because you feel like you're not accomplishing nothing. You guys follow that? So all you're doing is running this cycle, and the people doing the trainings have just got attendants sitting in their training. And that's a situation that you don't really necessarily want to be in because you're not going to accomplish a whole bunch. You're just going to keep being a part of whatever the deal is, but you're not going to be becoming successful. And if you do have a measure of success right now, it's going to be stagnant. So you may be PC qualified, or you may have a good book of business in your insurance company or whatever you got going on, but it's not growing. It's stagnant. And you can't be in that place, not as a business owner. Business owners can't stand to be stagnant. You have to be growing, unless your intentions are not to get any more customers or make any more money. Most of the time, that's not the case, but sometimes it is. So that's where that's at. Jasreen,
So
is your
true.
hand raised?
So
Go ahead.
true, Dunbar, because I get to a point now when I go
Yes.
with all these emails, I just delete them because I'm like too much training. How much training can you? Everybody wants to train you on something, and I'm like, this is not getting me paid. So I'm learning to delete a lot of them out of my emails.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Miss Jasreen, what's up?
You know, I have been missing a long time. So I feel like I'm in the same boat like Miss Hamilton, because I was away for about 4 weeks. I just came back. So, and I've been, you know, so much been going on. So I need to go over all of those programs that have started. And I did not have a company name nor EIN and all that stuff. So.
Gotcha. And the same thing with you, Jasreen, is well, as you with Flora and Jackie, with you have a program with me too. And I know you've been out of pocket because you have some life events happening. But with you, we need to get your company formed. We need to get your EIN number. We need to get your get a logo or not have a logo. That's totally up to you. But we need to get you in position so that you can do the lead magnets. Yeah. And it starts with, you have to form the company first because you don't have anything to put, you don't have a name to operate under with the lead magnet if you don't have a company.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get that formed for 2 reasons. 1, because the lead magnet needs to be created, and 2, because it's a mindset thing. Yeah. It's a mindset thing, and a reason why so many people, particularly in Legal Shield, have drank the Kool-Aid is because you convince yourself that that's your company. And it's not our company. And it's like, those are just facts. And if you do something to tick them off, they'll tell you that. So, you know what I mean? It's not your company. And they can, in them heartbeat, like in the next 24 hours, you will not be able to get into LS Engage. You will not be able to get into Prospect by Legal Shield. You right to look at anything. And all your book of business will belong to them. And now, again, do they just make a habit of doing that to people? No, they don't do that. I'm not making it seem like Legal Shield is hijacking people's businesses. They're not. But the fact of the matter is, you can't own a business that can be hijacked. If it's your business, it's your business. If it's not your business, it's not your business. You have to take ownership and have your leads in your own system, create your leads with your own lead magnets, and have a business running in your name. So if something goes wrong, you can continue to sell, like I've explained to you guys before. If I'm selling to a group of people, if I'm selling group memberships, and Legal Shield says, you know what, Dunbar, you did something that we don't like that you did. You violated your associate agreement. If they told me that and they were 100% right by doing that, and said that they was going to terminate my agreement, well, guess what? I could sell LifeLock to my accounts now if I wanted to. I could sell Hyatt Legal or any of these other AirRag. I can become an agent of one of those companies and continue to sell to my groups, but just a different product because it is my business at that point. I just can no longer sell the Legal Shield product, which is fine, especially if I violated something I shouldn't have. Then Legal Shield has a right to tell me I can't sell it. But you have to be able to maintain your book of business. You cannot build a book of business and lose it because you make a mistake.
Yeah.
And that's what we're all in jeopardy.
You're telling people stuff that you coming out of Mars, man, because people been in these businesses for years and never knew that. Always thinking that, oh, this is my business, you know. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself, blah, blah, blah. And you coming out of left field. So this is new. This is new. And it's something that, you know, like, wow, you mean to tell me Legal Shield is not my business? No. So therefore, people are getting like, what? And now you putting up something that's so new and fresh, and teaching, and people that may have been in, I don't know how many years these people have been in the business. I've been in it for 15 years. And I'm like, what the what? So now you're showing us a different way of going about things. And like Jezreen, Miss Jezreen, she's saying she has to, or I don't know how Flora, she says they don't have their business set up yet. This is something new for us. I mean, because you've helped me with this and everything, like I said. And so you're saying, hey, you got to have a business to do the lead magnets. You can't just, you can't do no lead magnets with Legal Shield.
Right. Yeah, not legally you can. And I would challenge y'all to do something too. Like if you know somebody, don't find anybody, but if you know somebody, just ask the question. Find somebody that's been around for some time. Could be an upline, could just be a leader in Legal Shield, right? And I'm particularly talking about people that's in Legal Shield, because the other companies, I don't know what's going on there particularly. Find somebody like a Kevin Mack or somebody that's been around for a while that have their business under business, and ask them why they did that. Just ask them why they did that. And they're going to start with right? Because something happened somewhere and it woke them up.
Right.
And they don't tell people that story because in this industry, the network marketing industry, leaders know that bad news doesn't go down, it goes up. So if something happened to them, they're not going to necessarily tell that story unless you ask them one-on-one. But ask somebody who's been around, who's a Millionaire Club member or 100K ring earner or whatever kind of K ring earner, whatever, that's been around, that's got some experience, that has a company name. They're not operating as yourself. Like Kevin Mack operates as Kevin Mack, but he has a business. He doesn't mention it, but if you check the profile of success, he's in there as his company name, not as Kevin Mack. So if you check Michael Humes, all the rest of them, they're all under companies in Legal Shield. They're not under themselves. So y'all may not know that because they don't say it. And Legal Shield will tell you can operate as yourself, but be a business. So it's called recognition name. So when you fill out a name and number change form, it says, what do you want your recognition name to be? So I can be Oceanside Benefits Group LLC as a company in Legal Shield and still say I want to be recognized as Robert Dunbar. And that's how they're going to call me. So if I get an award on stage, they're going to say Robert Dunbar. And you're thinking, oh, he's not in Legal Shield as a company because they call him Robert Dunbar. That's because Legal Shield asked you, do you want us to call you your company name or your name? So there's a lot of people in Legal Shield as a company. They just ask Legal Shield not to mention their company name because they're not doing it so people know they have a company. They're doing it to protect themselves because something happened or they were told by somebody that they needed to be formed as a company and they did it. They just tell people that they're operating as their name because they don't want to be called a company. So you got to know that people are not doing that for no reason. People aren't paying $100-something annually to have a company for no reason. They're doing that for a reason. Either their agreement was jeopardized at some point, or the IRS sent them a letter and they got audited. And after that audit was done, they knew that they had to now be operating as a company because the IRS tore another behind for doing it because it's illegal. And, that's not a conversation that's going to come out regular conversation. And when the IRS audits you, they audit you for 3 years. Wow. This audit you the year that you got in trouble. 2 more years after that, they audit you. And that's real uncomfortable. So you want to make sure that you operate in the correct way. There's a lot of people who broke 100K in network marketing. And after they broke that 100K, that's when they found out that reality. They got that to that 100K mark, and then the IRS came knocking at the door because when you make 6 figures, the IRS want to know where that money came from. If you ain't got no regular job. If you come from a regular job, that's easy to check because you got a W-2. Oh, so they checking what the company is telling the IRS that they paid you that amount of money because that's an expense for them. But when you got $100,000 that's been paid out and they trying to figure out where it came from, and then Legal Shield has a 1099 saying that they paid you that kind of money, but you ain't claimed that money.
Right.
You got another problem on your hands. So that's why it's important. That's another reason why it's important to form a company. All of that stuff interchanges. So again, why is this important for lead magnets? Because you have to understand that you have to have a company in order to do all of this stuff. By having a company, you're killing two birds with one stone. Antonio?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Long time no say. How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing excellent, brother. Good
Yeah,
to see you.
I see you preaching.
Hey, man, you know, I'm trying to do a little bit of problem solving here.
Yeah, I know.
You
I
know.
know. To your point, I go to networking meetings and I see people that's wearing Legal Shield out. You know, they got the shirt, they got the hat, they got the pen, and they Legal Shield. And to your point, Legal Shield's not theirs. You know, and when I get up, I do my thing. I introduce myself as Arcade Associates, and then I may talk about Legal Shield products, but I'll mention Legal Shield. And a lot of them are surprised when we have a one-on-one. Say, "Oh, you do Legal Shield?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so at that point, that's when they find out that I do Legal Shield. For everything else, I'm representing my company that does Legal Shield products, but I don't say, "Well, this is Legal Shield," because that's not what I'm standing up there for. I'm standing up there for me and my company. So to your point is that, and again, I see, you know, and not just Legal Shield per se, but just network marketing in general, you know, they're representing that company and they don't understand, like you say, that's their company. It's not yours.
That's 100% right. And guys, this is not a Legal Shield thing. I've got insurance agents, the same thing. You got an insurance license that you wouldn't pay for. You decided you want to be insurance rep, right? Now you're doing Medicare, you're doing
Obamacare.
Aflac, you're doing whatever, right? You're doing whatever insurances you said. You need to have an insurance company name and operate and sell those insurances through your company. Because if you have a disagreement with Aflac, or you decide you're no longer going to sell Medicare or State Farm or whatever you sell because something happens, right? Because adults have disagreements, right? Y'all decide to go your own separate ways. You can't be operating under these companies' names. You can't be saying, "I'm a Medicare rep. I'm an Aflac rep." Like, how are you self-employed, but you calling yourself somebody else? It just doesn't make any sense. Because why did you go get an insurance license if you were going to be selling somebody else's insurance and calling yourself them? Get a name for your insurance company and offer those insurances through your company so that you maintain control of your book of business. Yes, you can lose some clients that have that product if they don't want to switch out of it. You're going to always lose business. I don't care what kind of business you got. I don't care what you own for a business. You're going to lose clients, but you don't lose your business because you lose clients. You just lose clients and you get more clients. But when you're calling yourself that business and that business tells you you're no longer that business, then you don't have a business anymore.
Now, I want to ask you something maybe a little bit totally off subject, but in the past you had talked about in doing the lead magnets, you go out and take a picture, but you could place that picture with different backgrounds.
Yes.
I tried.
That is not awesome. So go ahead.
And I tried to put it to memory and I tried to bring it out of memory and it don't work because I was trying to figure out how we do this in Canva and I'm not even sure we do it in Canva anymore because I tried so many different variations and none of them work. So could you go with that? If we got enough time for that?
So you're trying to figure out how to take this one picture of you and put it on different backgrounds.
Right, because you said how you did that in the past, and I see how you do it on different various pictures of yours, but I can't remember what you said and how you do it. So it is in Canva, okay?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's definitely in Canva. So and obviously, I'm assuming you guys can all see this, right? So And I'll pull up this. I'll pull up the banners for the business summit because I'm doing this over and over and over again here.
Yeah,
So,
I know you are. And make it so easy. When you do, it look easy.
The speakers for this business summit that we're doing, they all sent me a couple of pictures of themselves, right? So they just sent me a couple of pictures of them, and then I'm creating graphics and just dropping them on those different backgrounds. So let's take this. You'll see I create the same background for each speaker, and I'm just putting them on it, right? So how am I doing it? So let's duplicate one and then and go from there. So I'll use this for an example. All right, let's take this. So I'm gonna duplicate this so you guys can. So, and this is the test one that I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and put test. So I'll download that at some point. This background is a logo that I created, right? So where did I put the logo at? So I've got folders in Canva. So when I make something, when I create something, I create it with a folder, so I can always go back and find it. So right here, this is my Business Autopilot Summit folder, right? So I want y'all to look at this as if it was a lead magnet, because really this is a lead magnet. It's something that a person could, I have it in places where a person can click on it and register for the convention or register for the 5 free weeks, right? So it is a lead magnet. So my logos, if I click images, are all here. So one, let me change the background first. Let's say I wanted still to have Harold here. I still wanted to have this verbiage here, but I wanted it to be with a white background of the same logo that I created. Well, I created more than one color of that logo. You see here, and let me annotate my my thing here so that y'all can see it on annotation, so I can see my cursor a little bit better here. I think we did, didn't it? Don't look like it. Okay, yes, it is. All right, so I want to change this. So because I created that logo and it's an image, I can pull any image into it. So I can take this image and pull it in here like that if I want to. I can take this image and pull it in here if I want to. I'm just dragging it in, and then it'll grab it itself. It automatically will grab it itself.
Okay, but could you start like from square one, like start like you brand new, and you took a picture and you're trying to place a picture into a background.
So if it was blank like this, so let's just make it blank, and this is any image, because these are images over here, right?
Right.
All I'm doing is grabbing that image, clicking it, and then pulling it. See how I'm dragging it? When I start to drag it towards this item, it's going to take hold on its own. It just fits itself in there.
Okay, I guess I'm trying to say, could you get the picture, put the picture in first, or does it matter?
Oh, no, it doesn't matter whether the picture's in there first or not. So if I erase the picture, that's not going to matter. So if this was a blank thing, right? Even this is just logo.
Right, yeah,
I mean,
right.
that's just, so if it's blank, it's the same thing. If I pull this over, drag this over here, it's going to form in here, right? So I want to put the picture of Harold like this inside of here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the pictures of Harold, right? So Harold sent me his pictures. You see the pictures?
Mm-hmm.
He just sent me pictures. So all I do is click his picture and pull it up like that. And then I click edit the image, and I click background remover, and it's going to take the background that's on the picture currently, and it's going to get rid of it.
Okay, that's what I was missing. Okay, that's what I was missing. I was trying to do transparency and all that, and that just takes out the whole picture. It doesn't remove the background.
See that?
Right.
Background is gone. Now I can flip this either way. So you see where it says flip?
Right.
I can click on that, and I can turn this picture whichever way I want.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if I wanted it on this side, I just drag it over here. And if I want it to be bigger than this, right, I could just grab the corner and make it, I can make it as big as I want.
Gotcha. Okay. That's
Right.
what
So that's it. And then when I decide I'm gonna get not fancy, but somewhat fancy with the picture and say, okay, I want that picture to have a glow on it. Well, what color do I want the glow? I can make the glow whatever color I want. So the picture glow that was on this one is blue, right? I used the same blue that was in this picture so that it will match.
Right.
But let's just say I wanted that glow to be the color of his shirt. I'm gonna click on the picture. I'm gonna click on edit. I'm gonna go to shadows and click on it. Then I'm gonna click on glow. Once I click on glow, it's gonna put a glow around him, but it's gonna automatically be black. And now I can adjust it how I want. So if I want the color to be pink as his shirt, I'm gonna click the black. I'm gonna click the plus sign so I can pull up a chart. And then I'm gonna use this little dropper over here. I'm gonna click this, and then I'm gonna go right down to his shirt. So it's the same color, and click it. And now
wait,
it's
do that again.
when I click this little eyedropper right here, which is they call it a color picker, I can click this and I can put this over whatever I want the color to be. And it picks up the color. So I could take this blue. That's how I match things when I'm doing it. I match them so that they're the same color. So if I wanted his shirt, the glow to be the color of this, I will hover over it and then click it. If I wanted the color of his pants to be the glow color, I'm gonna go over his pants and it's gonna turn into that blue. When I click it, it turns into that blue and it gives me the code for that blue. So if I'm doing it for his, like his shirt, I'm gonna go over it. I'm gonna click the picker, go over his shirt. It's pink. Click it. It's letting me know this is the code for that color pink. So now I'm gonna copy it so that I have it in case I want to make anything else that color, right? And then now I have that as the color of his shirt. That's the color. Now, if I want that color to stand out, I'm gonna adjust that however I see fit to. That's personal preference. So I can control the size to make it glow more. I always put my transparency on 100, just something that I do personally. And now you can adjust your size and your blur. So if you look at the picture, if I go put the size up to 40, see how big the glow is?
Right.
So if I take the glow down here to 10, it's gonna show that glow at 10. And I can make the glow blurry or not blurry. Totally up to how I want to do that.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just suggesting that based on however I want to do that. Right. So if I want to do that, go back to that blue. I'm just gonna hover right over this blue.
Click on it.
Make the glow blue.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
And then that's the end of that. I can click apply. And it's done.
Okay.
If I change my mind and say, you know what, I kind of do want it back on the other side, all I need to do is take it, flip it, and then move it back over here.
Okay.
That's all. If I want this background to be higher, if I say, well, I'm covering up the business autopilot something, all I got to do is double click on this and move it up. It's a picture. I can move it.
Gotcha.
Because it's the image, right? So I can move it and then click done so that I can see those words above his head right there. And then with the words, I just go to text to do that. So I can, I'm not gonna spend time doing that because I'll have y'all here for an hour doing that. So, you know what I mean? So the text, I can make the text the way I want, but I'm just gonna copy it here just for the sake of doing it. I'm just gonna duplicate this. And then just drag it down here. Now you can't see the 2022 because it's white. All I got to do is go in there, change the color of it to that same blue, right? So if I want to make it that same blue, I'm gonna click the letter A, which is the color of lettering. Same thing I did with the color before. I can pull a color, or I can just grab the color picker to be short, and then go right over to A. Say I want 2002 to be that color.
Gotcha. Okay.
Change it to that color, right? Done. And now I got right a new design. So you can change. I can change the background of any picture you give me. I can eliminate the background and put it wherever I want to put it, right? So you see, I got Ariel here, like this, and then I got her with the Instagram thing on her finger. Now this is the one I just did yesterday, where she's going to be training Wednesday on choosing what social media platform we want to be a part of. I took another picture of her, put some glow around it, dropped it here, drop this inside of the picture as well. I just go along and just add the stuff as I need to. Same thing here, just was a picture. So this was a picture already made. And all I did was pull a picture into the frame, drop her here, put the Instagram logo over her head, and then I duplicated this picture and shrunk it down and put another one behind it like it was two of me.
See that? Okay.
And I removed her background from. See where I got her at. All Ariel did was send me pictures of her. I asked her for pictures of her, and she sent me pictures, and I just removed the background on each picture as I go to use it.
I see it.
So I took the picture here,
All right.
removed the background, and then dropped it down low enough so that you wouldn't see the microphone. Because if I pull it up, look, see the microphone?
All right. All right.
I just got it down so low you just can't see it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. I said must be something.
Yeah, yeah.
Make sure I put that on my list. I'm gonna ask him next time I get on.
So if you want to make a lead magnet to put yourself in the jungle, you can. You put yourself in the jungle if you want to. Put yourself wherever you want to for your lead magnet. So it's really just that simple. Now again, I know for some of y'all thinking, yeah, okay, that sounds real good, but that's a little bit more complicated than that. That's what you use Fiverr for. I just know how to do it because I know how to do it. But you can use Fiverr, and believe me, guys, I don't do design work. I wasn't I didn't before Canva. I didn't do any design work. Just so you guys know, I started doing my own design work when I became a CDLP certification trainer because I started making my own flyers to travel. So that's when I started making flyers. Before then, I didn't make no flyers. So that's where it started because I was traveling and I was like, well, I'm not going to pay nobody to make a flyer every week for me because I was traveling every weekend. I was like, I'll start making them on my own. And that's what I did. I just started making them on my own. So it's really just about, making, taking the time to figure out if that's what you want to do and then doing it. If you decide that you don't want to do that, you want to just have Fiverr make your lead magnets for you, have them make your lead magnets for you, and then put them out there after you go through Payget with them. You put them out there. And also during this 5-week deal we're doing, I'm showing people how to send bulk emails and do all this email control stuff right from regular Gmail. So even though I know I talk about it with MailChimp, which you guys are here, I'm showing people how to do full capabilities. The only thing you can't do with like a Gmail, obviously you can't tag and stuff like that. So you're not gonna be able to tag your people, but you can send bulk emails and personalized emails and all of that kind of stuff. That Gmail has got some new advanced features that you pay for, and it's only like $9 a month or something like that you can do that kind of stuff. So I'll be talking about that stuff throughout those weeks. So that's where that's at. Oh, hold on, let me drop this. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. All right, so what I'm doing is putting the the weekly event link in here, the Wednesday night event. That's the link to it. So that's how you register for it. You're gonna register for that 5 weeks of well, it's 4 weeks now. One of them we did last week, we recorded it. So I sent the email out with the recording. So most of you guys probably got that recording that went out. But that's the link to go to be on it. So because tomorrow we'll be doing 8:30 to 9:15 again tomorrow. So all right. So hopefully I got to some of y'all. I didn't get to all y'all. But hopefully I got to some of you guys, and you guys realize some of the things that you can do a little bit differently so that you can start working on these. But you got to start working on lead magnets. I keep telling you at the end of every one, you're going to find yourself, you're going to wake up one morning and realize that that's all people are doing is lead magnets at some point. Right now, people are still buying leads and there's other things you can do, but this world is turning totally electronic. So that's why I showed you guys last week, whether you at a physical event, whether you're at a digital event, whether you're at on somebody's podcast, whether somebody's asking you to speak, it doesn't matter what you're doing. There's a way for you to use lead magnets. I've got a young lady that I'm working with that I just helped her create an email collecting form that she can use at her vending events in person and that she can use online. That has her picture and her logo on it, and it asks for information, and she's using it as a coupon. So she's literally using it and saying, hey, download this coupon and you get 10% off anything you buy. So she's giving 10% off to her clients when they download that coupon and use it. But when they download the coupon, guess what they got to give her? The email address. So that's her lead magnet. We made her a coupon with her logo on her face on there and the name of her products, and it's like 10% off. And it's like, if you want your 10% off, then you can give me your email address. That's basically her bargain. Get 10% off whatever you buy from me as long as you give me your email address, which is the same thing these grocery stores are doing. We give you a discount, guys. When you come in here, you get a percentage off your groceries when you buy your groceries. That's the same thing the gas stations are doing, guys. What are the gas stations doing? Are you part of my loyalty program? What's the loyalty program? They're giving you 5 cents off a gallon for your email address so they can send you emails. Everybody's doing it. We'll give you a little bit off of whatever you're paying for us if you give us your email, because we know that we can sell you stuff through your email. And how long has gas stations been doing that? How long has Winn-Dixie and Kroger's and wherever you shop at, how long have they had a loyalty discount card? They've been doing that for way longer than I've been talking about lead magnets. But that's what they're doing. Give us your information, we'll give you a discount. So that's where the world is coming to, guys. So eventually, all of that going on social media and going to people's DM, they're going to stop that. If you ain't got permission to be in there, you know how LinkedIn is, guys. If you ain't paying for LinkedIn as premium, you can't even talk to people when they message you a lot of times. They won't let you. And LinkedIn been doing that forever. It's like, I want to message this person. No, you can't message Jim Hicks because you don't really know him. Give us some information on him. Oh, I don't really know him. Okay, well, you can't private message somebody you don't know. So, because it's not a private, how you go private message if you don't know them? But if I pay for premium, I can. If I pay them $100-something a year, I can now, they're gonna give me access to a private conversation with Jim Hicks, guys. Come on. It's all you gotta do is open your eyes and you can see where everything's going. If you do not have people's information, you're not gonna be able to talk to them. And the only way to get it is to buy it. And the problem with buying leads is you don't know whether they're selling you the right information. Because when you call the people, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. You who? I did what? I got my information from where? No, I ain't signed up for that. Then you got to call the next person. So if you create your own leads, you have to worry about that. Good?
He goes, where did you get my name from?
Yeah, where you get my name from? That form you filled out yesterday, you know where I got your name from. I ain't fill out no form. I was trying to get $100 reward card. I don't know about you call me about no opportunity.
It's so true, so true.
Yeah, that's the deal. So guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I got some more stuff I gotta roll out. But next week we'll be back here. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys tomorrow night. Me and the rest of the crew. But if not, I'll see you guys next Tuesday. We're gonna talk some more about this lead magnet stuff. So you guys have a good the rest of your evening.
All right.
Thank
Okay.
you. Good
Thank
night,
you.
everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Lombard.
Absolutely.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Dunbar, when is available that you and I can speak?
Just use my link. Just use not that link, but the link that I sent you. I'll resend it to you so you have it. Just click it and just schedule something with me, whatever time's available.
Awesome.
Yep. So I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Please send one to me too.
Yes, I'll send one to you, Jasmine.
Okay.
All
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good night.